Okay, today for your listening and viewing pleasure, we got Cadash arcade North American version, and that's important. We'll get into that later. And we have a special guest with us today. It's a friend of mine. It goes by the name of Black Mamba or Izzy. Say hi, Izzy. Say hi to the boys out there.
Hello.
So she's gonna be doing some critiques on here. She put her foot in it and she wanted to do this review with me. We'll introduce her in a minute. I want to let you guys know what you're in store for here. So I'll be telling you about the game and the strats. Don't be expecting any normie bullshit like press B to jump or this game's an RPG. No, I'll give you kind of the strats. I'll tell you where the secrets are. Like basically, if you wanted to 1 credit clear this game, I'm going to give you a head start and kind of let you know like some of the stuff you're going to need to know. We'll get into like, this is like a game where you need to really manage all of your resources. So we'll get into all of that. You see me kind of going wonky here with the chain technique. That's like a skill this priest has. Like you can do what would you call it? Like you can chain hits. Like if you hit guys on the right, you can whip your chain around and hit them on the left with the same swipe. So yeah, there's 4 characters into that. We'll talk about that in a little bit too. Talk about some of the art design. I don't know if I mentioned it. I got a little notepad going here. Thank you. Thank you, my trusty assistant. So we're going to talk about, the version differences, all the secrets, item management, yada, yada. But let me introduce Izzy here. So I was getting the clear on this game, my guys. And I let my wife know. I said, hey, I'm recording tonight. You need to respect that. I'm going to be in my room.
You should tell them that Izzy and Black Mamba is your wife, because that is not how you introduced me.
Whatever.
I am a little more than his friend, just so you know.
You're my friend too, okay?
I said I'm more than just your friend.
We're a little bit married, okay? If you need to get technical about it.
Tattooed rings.
Okay. Hey,
a little bit married.
Did you guys see that right there? I just got a special item, that herb I just got. And if you swipe your chain on certain parts of this game or your weapon or whatever, you'll hear it like a tinny sound. It'll go like ting, ting. If you hear that ting, ting, that means there's a secret there. And Taito made this game. And that was a thing with Taito and all their games. They would put secrets all over them. And they're in this game. Like if you put in like pussy or ass in the Japanese version as your name, it'll say things like we'll get into that later. I'll tell you about that. They what would you call it? They didn't do that with the American version, but there's some secrets and some goofery going on in this game. What was I getting at? Oh yeah. So anyways, why Black Mamba is here? So I'm getting the clear, guys, and I told her, I said, don't come in while I'm doing this. Like this is serious. And she said, to her credit, she did respect it as best she could.
Excuse me, he said you could come in as long as you're quiet, which I did, to the letter.
Yes, a little too quiet. She came in.
It's not my fault he got distracted.
Walking around like a space alien. She was like she was on the moon. It was like she was spacewalking in the room. Like, what the fuck? And this game's hard, guys. I'm paying attention. And she's like she's trying to be silent, I think. Is that what that was?
I was silent. It's not my fault you were distracted by my gorgeousness. She was silent.
It wasn't gorgeous, it was the weirdness. She's walking around the room like she's on the moon. And I'm like I'm starting to take damage because I'm like, what the fuck is this weirdo doing? And I'm thinking so she's like setting her stuff down and she's trying to be quiet, I think. Is that what that was? Oh yeah, we went through this. I wasn't trying to be quiet. I was quiet.
I love his impression of me. He makes me sound so ridiculous. Of course, my impression of him makes me sound like, what was it? Oh yeah, retarded Muppet. So I think we each get each other on that one. And I was quiet.
This is my story.
I was quiet.
You were quiet.
It's not my fault.
You were so quiet. It was
You
weird.
were distracted by the tank.
Anyways, so I'm taking damage. I'm worried. I did actually eke out a clear. I got the proof right here. And at the end, she starts talking shit. And I'm like popping off. I'm so excited. I just got my first clear on this game. And she's...
Bullshit. I call bullshit.
And I'm like, okay, you want to talk shit? we're doing the recording, the voiceover tomorrow. You can talk shit. So here she is. She's like, yeah, I can talk shit. So here she is talking shit. Okay, so we're playing this game, right? And let me talk about this game. So like right here, you shouldn't be going to this section right here. You're going to see me taking damage off the water. You get 2 hits of damage every time the water hits you. And we're skipping a whole section of the game right now. And this allows you to pick where you're going to grind in the game. Basically, you have a timer in this game. And it starts out at like 10 minutes or something. And there's 5 levels in the game. And when you get to the next level, the timer will add like an additional 7 or 8 minutes. I forget what it is. But basically, the game gives you just enough time to get through it. The resources are very tight on this game on the North American version to get a clear. And if you skip the level, I just skipped level 2 and we're on level 3 right now. And you saw the timer just added like 8 minutes or whatever. Now I have just buffered the game so that I have extra time. And that gives us an opportunity to grind. You do grind for grinding means you're getting experience and getting money. It's not one of those things. It's for money. You're grinding for money. Okay, I know that sounds a little bad. Anyways, anyways, if you don't grind, you do get experience. It's not that funny. You do get experience on level 2, but you don't get as much experience as if you were to grind in the spot I'm going to grind right here.
Let's be clear. I am the one who has the mind of like a 14-year-old male. Not my husband.
Not a mature male like me.
No, he's very mature. So mature that he doesn't quite get the jokes.
What jokes?
But that's okay. That's okay.
I got that one. I know you were thinking grinding was something
I love
like,
him anyway. It's okay. Even though he calls me an alien, he's my retarded
No, you
Muppet.
move like an alien, and I talk like a Muppet. I know.
You do.
So this is the section here where you grind. And you saw that those block dudes, earth dudes, killed me. There's really no way around that right there. They're going to kill you once. The herbs in this game will revive you and give you 10 hit points. And a cool feature is some of the enemies in this game will take 40 hit points in one hit. But if you have an herb, and say you're down to like 1 hit point and you get an enemy hits you and takes 40 off, it's still only going to use 1 herb. It's not going to use like 40 herbs and eat them all. So they do actually come in handy. They will actually suck up more than just 10 hit points. So yeah, I'm going to be grinding here for a minute.
Grinding and suck it up.
Grinding and sucking it up. Yes. Okay, you know what? I think it's a good time for story time.
Ooh, story time. Do I get to tell my version of the events?
You were there, so it would only be fair. So I'm going to be grinding here for, I don't know, like this is the spot in the game where I'm going to grind until I can kill those spiders in 2 hits. And then I know that I've leveled up enough. I forget what level I get to. I think it's 10. And by then I've leveled up enough that it'll carry me through the rest of the game. So anyways, this is a story about how my friend Sean thought Izzy was. He thought she was a lady of the night. Or,
it's okay. You can say the word, dear.
I don't know what to call them.
Prostitutes.
I don't know. That might not be the word they like anymore. I don't know. I don't know a lot of. I don't know any prostitutes. I don't think. Anyway.
You don't think you know?
They might be a prostitute and not let you know.
I think you'd know.
It's not like. I feel like if you walked up to a prostitute and was like, "Hey, what do you do?" They'd be like, "Oh, well, you know, this and that," and I'm in. They probably wouldn't just come out and be like,
"No,
I friggin' for money."
No, they'd say, you'd ask, "What do you do?" And they'd say, 50 for pussy, 40 for anal, and 20 for head.
Know a lot of prostitutes, do you? You don't. You're making this. You're pulling this out of you.
Drink your beer. Drink your beer. That's right.
We're drinking Guinness tonight, boys. What are you drinking, Izzy? Cabernet. That's wine for you. Uncouth gentlemen out there. Anyways, so my friend Sean thought Izzy was a prostitute.
He's the sweetest man ever.
Yeah. So, but he did spend a lot of time in prison. And there was a period of time there where Sean spent just as much time out of prison as he spent in prison. And at this particular junction of Sean's life, I think he just did a year stint or a little bit over. And Blake wanted to throw him a party.
Who's his brother?
Yeah. And we're throwing Sean a party. And I think the confusion here was that Izzy doesn't dress like the rest of my friends and me.
It's not like I was dressed like a hooker either.
Well, why else would he think you? How do hookers dress? That's what I want to know. Maybe you guys in the comments, I don't have any experience with hookers. If you guys know how hookers dress, let me know. Because Sean, so let me.
Go ahead.
So I show up to the party, and apparently Blake had told Sean that he had a very special surprise for him. And Sean had never met Izzy at this point. And I show up to the party, and he walks up to Izzy, and he grabs her and swings her around and says, "For me, thank you," or something like that. And then I don't know what's going on. I'm like, I didn't know they knew each other. And I'm just watching him swing her around, and Izzy's got this look on her face like, what? I'm not for you. And then Blake starts physically abusing Sean.
He pushes him.
I don't know. He was
I'll tell my version.
So anyways, he's like, "Bad Sean, no, that's not for you." And then, and Sean like slinks away like a whipped dog.
Oh, stop.
And for the rest of the night, and basically the rest of his life, he apologizes and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought your wife was a prostitute." And I think it's because Izzy was dressed different than the rest of us. She doesn't dress like a prostitute from a Frank Miller novel.
Oh, dear.
She dresses nice, but we weren't really the most nicely dressed group of people. So she stood out. Maybe that's how prostitutes dress in real life instead of comic books. I don't know. You guys in the comments, let us know.
Good one.
Is that how that went down?
No, that is not how that went down. Please let me inform you of the real version.
Okay.
So, part of the story is correct.
Yeah.
Where Sean did get out of prison. There was a party.
I did say that.
And Blake said, his brother, "Hey, I got a surprise for you later. Have some beer, chill out." Rigel, my husband, went ahead of me, and I took a separate car because we were dating different lives. I said, "Okay, I'll be there." So I get there, and I didn't see his car right away. So I waited in my car, thinking like, "Oh, he's gonna pull up any minute." Blake sees me in my car and says, "What are you doing? Get in here." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm waiting for Rigel." And he's like, "Nah, he's in here. Get your ass in here. Come on." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I walk in with Blake, and he goes, "Let me introduce you to Sean." Oh, okay. So he takes me over to Sean, and then Sean immediately says, "For me?" And he does pick me up and swing me around, and I'm like, "What?" And there's my husband, boyfriend at the time, leaning against the door,
We're not dating anymore. She wasn't really girlfriend material, guys.
No, I was wife material. You better follow that up.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah? You're gonna question this right now?
No, it's true what you say.
Be a little more convincing.
You were indeed wife material.
You need to work on that. It's all right. I forgive you.
That's already done. I put a ring on it.
Tattooed ring, as a matter of fact. Anyway, so Rigel over there is in the corner looking perplexed, like, what's going on? But yet not really that concerned. And I'm looking at him like, help me? What's happening? And then Blake pushes Sean. He's like, back off. No, that's not for you. No. This for you. And he like hands Sean something. And then
probably got him some dope or beer or something, and that was his special present. Sean wanted something else. Makes sense. He just got out of prison.
Also true.
Poor guy.
I know. And from that point on, I really don't remember having any other contact with Sean. He was very sweet. He was over there talking with his friends. And then at some point...
apologized profusely.
He did. And then from that point on, he did apologize and say, "I'm sorry, your girlfriend was a hooker." And then when we got married, "I'm sorry, I thought your wife was a hooker." And then and so on and so forth.
Yeah, every time we see him, he's got to apologize for it.
Except for recently, I think he's finally,
He let it go. It took him a couple of years.
Oh, yeah. 7 years of marriage plus 2 years of dating-ish, he finally has stopped and can just say hi to me without looking super embarrassed.
We got lots of Sean stories. There's another Sean story about how he peed on stuff is in my Iron Sword video.
Enough with the Sean stories. Let's hear about your stories or something.
Oh, no, I got to talk about this game. So we're done grinding here. And this is actually the hardest part of the game. You can't go to an inn, so the inns will recover your hit points and your magic in this game. And they start out, what is it, like 50 gold, 200 gold, 1,000 gold, and then it's 6,000 gold in the North American version. I think they're cheaper in the world version. But you only get like, what is that? Like 3 or 4, you get like 4 chances to revive your health. And you basically, in the beginning of this game, you can't go to an inn. So you got to make it through the first level, skip the second level, and get through level 3, all without going to an inn. Just on that first initial, what is it? Like 40 hit points it gives you. And so this first part is the hardest part. So you need to like go in here and like make sure you keep re-upping your herbs, those green items on the bottom there, bottom left. You need to make sure you have herbs. Make sure you have a couple antidotes because those spiders will poison you. What am I doing here? I'm like zoned out.
You quit grinding. That's what you did.
I'm done. The grinding is over. So, yeah. So she has magic too. She has this barrier magic, and I'm at a level now where I could use it. She has a spell that will revive health, and then she gets an antidote spell, and she gets a barrier spell that absorbs health, a spell that will recuperate 30 seconds of time, and then another health spell. But the only one I would recommend ever using is the barrier spell. And you're only going to get one of them until you go to an end. And I have to save it up till the first boss here, Audrey 2 from
Little Shop of Horrors.
Thank you. My wife is educated. Spending so much time with me, I think it's rubbed off on her.
That was a nice backhanded compliment.
That's actually kind of
inaccurate.
Yeah, she had read a few books, or at least chewed on them before I met her.
A few. I introduced you to Jane Austen. Thank you very much.
She did that. At which point, I believe I've read more Jane Austen than you. Do you want to talk about that?
Please do. That's totally fine.
Actually, I don't want to share my Jane Austen.
We can totally
issue
talk about your Jane Austen reading.
No. Where was I going with this?
I don't know, but I also find it interesting how, considering how...
I was talking about this is about Audrey 2.
That's nice. And the sadistic dentist in that movie. I find it interesting.
Yeah, that's Steve Miller.
Steve Martin.
Yeah, I was getting there.
Eventually, he will. Kind of like all things in life.
I'm not sure what that means. It's a little late, guys. And my wife's actually, the one thing I'll give her, she's a little quicker with the wit than me.
A little?
So.
A lot.
Just don't pick on me in front of my fans, okay?
Well, you get to pick on me. Why can't I pick on you? And I also...
Touche.
I also find it interesting, since you have given me so many lovely backhanded compliments, that you're playing as a woman. Could there be something to that yet
well, there is.
Somehow that we are still somewhat more powerful than you, yet you still don't want to admit it?
She's got the barrier spell. And I'm going to use it right here. So I just used that. That takes 20 magic points. Here's Audrey 2. For you Philistines out there, it's the monster from Little Shop of Horrors, correct?
Named after Audrey.
And yeah. The chick he's crushing on. Mm-hmm. So one thing, look, I grinded for points, and that allowed me to kill that monster twice as fast as you normally would be able to if we hadn't stopped and grinded in that section there. And that's the thing. So you grind early in this game so that you can carry your experience boost through the rest of the game. And I fuck up right here. These stupid bees shouldn't hit me at all, and they hit me like 3 times. Oh, that item that just dropped, that was it gives you... it's a bell, and it gives you 8 hit points a boost. It doesn't revive your health, but it boosts your max hit points. And that was another one of the secrets in this game. And there's quite a few of those. Let's see what. There's also an item. Where's my list here? There's an item. It's a dragon statue, and I'll show you when we get there. And it gives you 6,000 gold, which is basically a necessity for a 1 credit clear. You have to get that statue. You need that 6,000 gold. If you play the world version of this game, it gives you 60,000 gold, which is kind of game breaking. It's so much money. It boosts everything beyond what you would need. And that's the thing with Taito. Taito's really good at making games very hard, but giving you enough resources so that if you're a skilled player, you can get a 1 credit clear. And this game is really tight on, like I said, it's an item management game. You need to manage your time, your health, your magic, your money, your items. In addition to the herbs, you'll see that when we defeated Audrey 2, it dropped an item, and that's an elixir. And that elixir will revive 100% of your health. And I know once I get that item in this game, that I've basically got the game by the balls, and I'm gonna beat it once I get that item. Because once you get that item, you got a full health refill, and you also, at that point, you haven't gone to an inn at all, so you still got like 4 inn uses. Looks like I'm gonna go to the inn right now. Yeah, so it's only 50 gold. Now, normally when you go to the inn, you want to make sure you use a barrier magic before you go inside the inn if you have any MP left, because you can carry that barrier magic through to after you come out of the inn, and it's like an extra magic because you're going to renew all of your health anyways. Does any of that mean anything to you?
No. Why do you think I picked up the knitting?
So some of this should have rubbed off on you by now. You've been watching me play this game for like, how long have I been playing this game?
I have no idea.
Have you ever seen this game before?
Yes.
When do you think you first saw this game?
I have no idea.
A month ago? 2
Maybe.
weeks ago? No, I've been playing this for like 2 weeks.
I was close.
Are you oblivious to
do
you even pay attention to me?
Of course I do. I pay attention to multiple parts of you at very specific times. However, the video game part of you is your own personal time, and I am really sharing it with you with my personal time, which is knitting. So, there's different types of personal time.
That's a no. She has no clue of anything about. I've been playing this game for 2 weeks, guys.
What am I making right now? What am I knitting?
That looks like a beanie.
For?
Somebody's kid.
Who?
Kelly.
Not bad.
Hey! Yeah, check out the big brain on Rigel. I pay attention to my woman.
Well, I hope so, or you wouldn't have had a woman. No witty retort.
You mean Esme?
What? Yes, in a way. If you hadn't paid attention to your woman, you wouldn't have had an Esme.
I'm confused.
You're right.
Let's talk about Cadash. That's more stable ground.
I thought we were talking about paying attention.
Okay, guys, this lightning here, it always pops up in the same spot, and you just need to memorize it. This whole game's a memorizer. The enemies all respawn in the same spot. Going forward, that lightning spawns in the same spot. When you come back the opposite way, it's gonna spawn in a different spot. This level here, if you stop and think about it, is disturbing. So I haven't been talking to the villagers in the towns. They actually have some interesting shit to say if you talk to them. Like, it's a pretty cool RPG with like townspeople. I just don't have time to talk to them. But when you're working on getting the clear and you're routing the game out, you talk to everybody. They say some interesting stuff. Like in this town, bandits came and like murdered the whole town. That's what all the gravestones are. And you can see there's a village below me, and the people that survived the bandit attack moved down there. And these bones are the bones of everybody that was killed by the bandits. And I'm looking at these fucking piles of bones, and I'm like, what level of genocide occurred in this sad town? Like, my God.
Go to Paris and go to the underground. You'll find dozens of bones there.
Yeah, I don't know about undergrounds in Paris.
Look it up.
I'm from Orchid.
That's nice, but you still went to Paris without me, I might add.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
But anyway, in Cadash, you got piles and piles of bones by some bandits. Like, this is.
And you say I'm dark.
Yeah, so this level's dark. So like in this level, so every level you're actually on a mission. Like on the second level, you're saving this girl that's tied to a log, and a kraken's gonna eat her, like Clash of the Titans style. And you save her, and she turns into a mermaid and shows you her titties. So that's cool.
What the fuck?
You saw that. Remember I showed you the titties.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, you were probably knitting pearl. You weren't paying attention.
Again, why would I want to?
Anyways.
I have a pair of my own. I don't need to see someone else's.
Well, I was impressed. Anyway.
With hers? Or
yeah.
with mine?
Well, the fact that an arcade game showed titties in North America.
You're not impressed by mine?
Well, your titties are amazing. Let's see even if they weren't, I'd have to say they were.
Yeah, exactly. You have to say they were. I get
But yeah. Anyways, what was I going? Now I fucking forget what I was talking about.
Yeah, mermaid, titties, Clash of the Titans.
Oh yeah. So every level has like a mission and people you have to help. So you save this girl, and she's a mermaid, and her who isn't her real grandma is like, oh, go save my granddaughter or whatever, and you go and save her. Yeah, so that's the second level. And then the third level, I don't know, there's like I actually forget what you're doing. There's like some dwarves, and you just need to get through the dwarven town.
Dwarfs
like, you're not saving. I forget if it's dwarfs with an F or dwarves with a V. Anyways, you get through that. And this level here, the fourth level, you have to help put this dead dude to rest because he dies in a horrible manner. And his wife can't even talk about it. Like, you meet her, and she's like, "Hey, put this pendant on my husband's gravestone to let him know that I'm okay."
What?
And so you do that, and then his spirit talks to you, and he's like, "Oh, you're the shit. Like, thanks for helping me out. You can talk to animals now." And he gives you a pendant to talk to animals, and then you talk to this German Shepherd.
That makes no sense.
It's fucking a Japanese role-playing game from Taito from the 90s. Of course it makes no sense.
Taito?
Yeah, Taito's a shit. Taito were some gangsters. They were punk rock and Japanese dudes from back in the day. All their games were
Posers, not real.
I don't know, man. These guys. Anyway, so this part here is.
They weren't some yakuza. Okay.
No, they weren't gangsters.
They weren't the real shit. They were wannabes. So posers.
I don't know if they wanted.
Gamester posers.
I should say they were punk rockers of the gaming world.
Right, posers. Because if you're going to say gangsters, we're talking about Al Capone, we're talking about Yakuza, we're talking about John Dillinger. People with gloves.
About all that.
Yeah, I know. That's why I know more than you.
Anyways, so in this section right here, when you want to run through the fire, when you see both the flames are close together, that's when you want to go through. And on this part here, you kind of go down and then into the corner. Those fucking flames will do 40 hits of damage in one swoop. So you really don't want to get swooped up by those guys. Yeah. You think that's funny, huh, Black Mamba?
I like how you say swoop. It's kind of like subwoofer and tourist.
What do you say? You say artichoke for us.
Artichoke.
Oh, you've been practicing. She's been practicing. She used to say artichoke.
It's artichoke, okay? It is artichoke.
But she's been working on it because I've been teasing her on it. And yeah, I say subwoofer. What? Subwoofer.
It's cute.
Well, hey, this section here is the other bottleneck in this game. So if you have your barrier magic on, you'll just hit stun through this. It's like I just did right there. But if you don't have your barrier magic, what you can do is when the platform you're on is at the very bottom, fall into the lava, and it'll knock you back onto the platform, and you have enough hit stun to then jump across. And that's how I get through this section here.
What's the glowing orbs?
That's your barrier magic. It absorbs damage.
Ah, so the thing that makes her the most powerful.
Yeah, that's basically it.
How do you even tell where the staircase is?
Because she gets I don't know, 10 of those. She can use 10 of those barrier magics.
No, I'm talking about the staircase crawling down the bones.
Oh yeah, that's another Taito secret. Look, I got this little girl standing on my head now. That's some more Taito action. They like doing shit like that. They like having helpers in their games. I was working on Outzone recently. I'm still working on a clear on Outzone. And you get helpers in that game that help you out through the game. Title's always got some weird stuff like snuck in like that. Look at that dude. Just standing there walking in place. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so this is something I wanted to do on this playthrough here. I wanted to do like Izzy quiz time.
Oh dear.
So I feel like from hanging out with me for so long that some of my video gaming knowledge must have rubbed off on her. You know, just osmotically, just
that actually
being
a
in
word?
The presence of
Such
my wisdom.
greatness.
What? Not great. It's just wisdom.
Oh, the wisdom.
Get it right. I mean, we need to be precise with our language here. We're on YouTube. Okay. So, anyways.
By the way, he taught me this cackle. By the way.
No,
it's only
no.
only from years of experience being around
you didn't
such
need anyone
genius
to teach you how to
have
cackle.
I honed the craft of the cackle. Anyway, all right, quiz me, dear. Quiz me.
I wanted to quiz you. You ready for this?
Yes, please.
Izzy, we'll start out easy. What is a CRT?
A TV.
That's it?
I'm sorry.
Judges want more.
What else am I supposed to say?
What kind of TV is a CRT?
A big box.
Okay, it's a big box TV. I'll take that.
That's good.
Okay, Izzy.
I take it regularly.
Oh, no. We don't need to go there.
From my husband. No one else. Just putting it out there. That sounded, nebulous. I do apologize.
Izzy.
Yes. Rigel.
What is a Nintendo's?
It is a gaming system that you plug into said TV.
All right, we're doing good here. Izzy. What is an RPG?
Fuck if I know.
All right. Not so good.
I know he mentions it quite often.
No, an RPG is
RPG,
a role,
let's enunciate
an
clearly.
acronym. It's an acronym for role-playing game, which
Oh.
we are playing right now.
Oh yeah, that was.
We're playing a role-playing game. In case you guys didn't notice, we got experience points and stuffs. And this is, I don't want to get into that. Anyways, let's stick with. I don't need you to get distracted here. Let's stick with the quiz.
Let's not get distracted.
Let's not get distracted. Are you gonna point out that I misspoke?
Yep.
Can we just let that go?
Nope.
No, we can't.
No, we can't.
Anyways,
Continue.
Izzy, what is an RBG? What are RBGs? Do you know what RBGs are?
It is the little plug-in thingies in the back of said CRT that is red, green, and blue.
Oh my God! How many broads know? I'm so proud of you right now. You get 11 out of 10. You got 11 out of 10 on the quiz. Oh, I'm so proud. My wife knows what RGBs are.
RBGs.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Okay, you guys are seeing I'm going back here. Here, hold my beer for me, baby. You gotta hold it up higher so I can open it.
Did I need to stroke it for you?
Oh my God, just hold it.
It is right between your legs.
You gotta hold it up higher. You gotta grab it by the neck.
By the
this
head?
is really, this was a bad idea.
It's a very bad
Look,
idea.
hold
to
it,
do with
hold
me.
it tight.
Hold it tight, baby.
Not so tight. Not so tight.
Not that tight.
Not that tight. I gotta
No.
gotta get this under the cap.
So get it already.
I'm trying.
Come
a little
on.
looser.
Wedge it.
Gosh, give me that. Hold the phone.
Give me that. No.
Hold the microphone.
Can you give me that? Give me.
Yeah, let's see if you can open it.
Dang it.
She's trying to get good help around here.
Good help.
By the way,
Good help.
let's see her
You know
trying
what?
to open this with the fucking flashlight.
what?
She's trying to open one of those like pop-off beers where it's not a twist off. Oh shit, she might actually get it.
Yeah, you know what?
You gotta hold it up.
You know what? Shushed.
All right, you work on that. Get back to me when you get that shit open.
Stop making me laugh.
I'm drinking. This beer's really good. It's North Coast. What is this shit, anyways? Old number.
It's called North Coast Brewing Company, independent since 1988. Old
I don't
number
need all that
38
shit. It's
stout.
old number 38 stout. It's got a train on the front. It's a stout. It's fucking holy shit. You almost hit me in the face with that.
Well, that's payback after you getting me in the face so many times over our marriage. Oh, story time!
No.
Story time!
No, we don't have time for this.
Oh, big time. Story time. So, during the course of our marriage, long story, I'm going to shorten it up for you guys. We had a surprise pregnancy. And we had a surprise evacuation. So we had to stay in a hotel for a few months when we bought our first house.
The baby wasn't evacuated. We were from a house.
Yeah, we were. No, the baby was not
evacuated. There
was
was a fire.
That evacuation of baby is called an induction, dear. Anyway, we were evacuated from...
the fire.
We were staying in a hotel. I wear glasses. And my wonderful husband loves to flick bottle caps at me. I get back when I can, don't you worry. Anyway.
What are you talking about? I was flicking a bottle cap.
You were flicking a bottle cap in my general direction while I was pregnant when I said to him, "Don't you dare." And, said pregnant wife, 6 months pregnant, it's not the prettiest thing in the world. Growing a life, growing a foot, growing a baby brain and all that. And he's like, all right. And I could read his mental thoughts on his face that are coming in. And he's like, all right, I'm going to aim at the wall. And so I see him turn towards the wall and he flicks it. That little motherfucker goes from the wall and bounces off and hits me in my motherfucking glasses. I just thank God it wasn't scratched. And I just sat there going, why? Why? And he was profusely apologetic. He did apologize. However, that little fucker still got me. Last time he ever hit me with a bottle cap. He's tried.
Only time I hit you. So she makes it sound like I was chasing her around with bottle caps.
Bullshit.
No, I didn't. And I didn't have a thing where I tried to hit her with bottle caps.
Yes, you did.
I like to flick bottle caps into things
that happened to hit me.
Trash cans in the wall. I like to flick them off the wall and catch them. So that's what I was doing. I was flicking it off the wall, and this particular time it happened to hit her in the glasses, and she said why. That's her story, and she still remembers. I actually remember it too.
He remembers it.
It was pretty funny.
It was funny, but it also pissed me off. Because I'm like, really? What the fuck,
yeah,
Murphy?
And ladies, they hold on to this shit.
Women have memories like the ocean. You never know how deep it goes.
No.
Uh-huh.
So where do we go from here?
I don't know. What do your notes say, darling?
We can talk about the version differences. Okay. So this is the Japanese North American version. And it's the hardest version compared to the World version arcade, and then of course the console ports are easier for the Sega Genesis and the TurboGrafx or PC Engine. So the big difference, so healing herbs in the North American version are 200 gold. In the World, they're 20 gold in the World arcade. You can carry 4 in the North American version. You can carry 8 herbs in the World version. The Dragon Amulet we got earlier, that's only 10,000 gold in the North American. It's 60,000 gold, which is game breaking in the World version.
Just out of curiosity, do you get names of these herbs, or is it just you get herbs?
There's only one herb.
That's messed up.
It's the healing herb. And it heals you. Well, there is an antidote. I don't know if there's a jar. This isn't some kind of botanist game here. This is fucking some Conan, Dungeons and Dragons, Lord of the Rings shit.
They should be able to, infuse some knowledge into these things, but stay.
You go ahead and make a video game and then get back to Taito and then tell them how to do it. You and your Yakuza friends can tell them how they're posers. With your fucking herb game.
Hey.
Anyways, so
out of both of us, I'm the only one who went to Japan to see real Yakuzas.
There's a time spell that the priest has, and it will give you 30 seconds bonus in the North American, and in the World version, it'll give you 60 seconds bonus. And that's actually pretty huge. That doubling that makes the time spell kind of game breaking. Another big difference is Balrog at the end, the dragon you got to fight, has way more health. I don't know about way more. He has more health in the North American version than the world version. All this is to say that the world version is easy mode. It's a very... I don't want to talk shit on it. Like, it's a good easy mode for the game.
But you're gonna.
No, it's cool if you want it. Like, I actually kind of want to play the world version to play as the magician or the wizard or whatever you want to call him, because he's pretty hard to play as. And I do want to keep playing this game. I actually really like this game. It reminds me of Willow. It's very similar to Willow, where the key strategy to this game is item management and money management and resource management. Like, you can't really just watch a playthrough and memorize, okay, when you get to this part, you buy this, and when you get to this part, you buy this many things. You really have to play through this game quite a few numbers of times until you have a feel for what item you need to buy and when, and how you're doing in the game, and do I need to buy more herbs right now, or do I need to buy the magic bells to boost my hit points? And it's a game that rewards repeated playthroughs and knowledge of it. And then once you understand the game and have a good grasp of it, it's not that hard, really. All this is to say the world version is so much easier that you don't need to learn all that item and resource management. And I did break the game a little bit by skipping that one section and being able to like boost my health and everything.
What is this thing? What is this thing? This gelatinous...
That's the pudding, baby. You can actually enter a code, like your name in the beginning. And if you enter your name as a certain name, it'll change the colors of the puddings. And you can enter a certain name and it'll make the puddings giant heads and bodies like of people. It's really disturbing. That's another thing. Pull up that shits I gave you. I had Izzy pull up some shits on her inner tubes, and in the Japanese version, if you enter your name as vagina, it will change your name to I love you. There's a whole list of this shit you can look up on YouTube. If you enter your name as poop in Japan, it'll change your name to want to eat.
No.
This is Japanese or some twisted fuckers. If you can enter your name as masturbation in Japan, and you know what it's going to give you as a name replacement? What's it going to give you, baby?
What?
Fast. See right there? Masturbation equals fast.
Is that supposed to be accurate? Because technically,
This isn't a technical thing. This is what Tidal gave us. If you enter in Dick as your name, it's going to give you the name Small. Yeah, you like that, huh?
Well, that's typical for most.
And see, Japan's weird because they have different types of kanji and shit. So it's like...
There's only one type of kanji, and then there's two other forms of letters.
I don't know. This list is talking about katakana and hiragana.
Katakana, kanji, and there's one more.
Hiragana, whatever. I don't. Boki.
Hiragana.
I don't understand all this. I just know that if you enter your name as fuck with the certain kanji here, it'll enter it as Jesus. It'll change it to
all right,
Jesus.
That's blasphemous right there.
But yeah, so that's what's going on in Japan. Taito decided that might not have been the best thing to do in North America, which might have been a wise move, honestly. So yeah, so we're in here at the last level here. And yeah, this level's, I don't know, I want to say it's hard. None of the levels in this game are really that hard once you memorize them and you know how to get through them.
Oh, that's just.
Oh, you like that list? Izzy's looking at the list here.
I don't like it. No, it's just there's so many aspects of this that are so wrong.
Yeah, you really just need to play this game and memorize like the strats to get through all these different characters. Like that section right there with those dudes swinging the chains around. If you jump up, you can bait them to throw their chain in a certain way. You kind of just got to play the game and get good. Yeah. Another cool thing about this game is it actually, in the arcades, it had 2 cabinets that you could link together. And you could play 2 players on one cabinet and 2 players on the other for a total of 4. And there'd be 2 cameras. And camera 1 would follow around one cabinet, and camera 2 would follow around the 2 players on the other cabinet. I never got to play it like that. Like, I can't get anybody to play any games like this. I've been wanting to like hit you guys up on YouTube and see if anybody wants to like do a playthrough on one of these games on RetroArch. So we're coming up on the last boss of the game here, Balrog. And you need to have full resources when you go into a Balrog fight, because that dude is just a damage sponge, and his attacks are unavoidable. There's no
damage sponge.
Yeah, it's a term for like a tank, like something that can just take shitloads of hits. You can just keep hitting him and he doesn't die.
I've never heard of that in my life.
Yeah, well, you never heard of RPGs.
I have. I hooked them up before I met you. Thank you.
What's an RPG?
RPG? It's the thing that you play.
Yeah, role-playing game.
Yeah.
This isn't your territory.
I have heard of it, dear. I did have a life and I did exist before you, as hard as it is to contemplate and think of. I like this thing. My infinite wisdom must have creeped into her brain osmosisly. I could go places with that. Shall I?
You like my notes?
It was very illuminating.
These notes weren't for you. These notes are for me.
Yes, but yet it is still, a way to, what is it you like to say? Oh, yes, drop some knowledge. Yes, it is, we can say creeped,
Osmotically is a word, by the way.
I do know that. I do have an associate's
Osmosis is when...
I did take biology and anatomy and physiology before
There's osmosis and diffusion.
Yes.
Osmosis is a certain type of diffusion where water is permeable through a membrane.
Yes. So if you want
So
to
if I wanted to be more accurate and less analogous, I would say through diffusion. Because that's just the process of any type of thing leaking into another type of thing passively. Which is like my wisdom leaking into your passive fucking mind.
I wouldn't exactly say I might have been passive. You were not passive. You were thrusting with great passion, and it did permeate me quite effectively. You got your mind
in the gutter. I'm talking about mental, higher level, more intellectual kind of stuff. And you got something on your mind right now.
Of course I do. But, I already prefaced that with the mind of the 14-year-old boy, and my husband has the mind of a 92-year-old man.
Genius.
Okay, fine. 92-year-old genius who can't, grab a sex joke to save his life. Or shall I say, understand a sex joke to save his life. Meanwhile...
I got some sex you can grab and it won't be a joke.
Oh, no, I know your sex is not a joke, baby. I take it very seriously.
Well, at least it's not funny. You don't want a woman laughing when you're
what? When you're what, baby?
I can't say it.
When you're thrusting with great passion?
Yeah, that. I get verklempt with these words. I'm not saying the thrust and the... you just got it in you and it's got to come out. You need to get this off. We ain't going to get through any Cadash until you get your thrusting with great passion.
Oh, you said it. I'm very proud of you.
God.
Very nice. And you didn't turn pink.
Are you sure? I feel a little pink. I'm feeling some heat. Mwahahaha. You didn't need anybody to teach you to mwahaha.
That's not true.
That mwahaha is all natural.
Don't start clicking shit.
Well, you knit tink pearl. I can click shit.
Click with your toes. Go ahead.
Anyways,
meanwhile,
we're coming up on Balrog here. We're fighting this
it's a caterpillar.
Well, yeah, the caterpillar's not even worth talking about. He's easy.
Oh, that's not Balrog?
No, Balrog is this dude. He's a wizard. And you chop his head off or knock it off. Okay, so when you fight Balrog, You want to hit him and hit him and hit him and then anticipate his attack. And when he's getting ready to attack, you want to move away from him. And then he shouldn't hit you if you do that. We're going to fight him right now. And when his head comes off, he's going to turn into a giant fucking fire-breathing dragon, of course. Which I'm talking like I'm complaining, but...
He sounds like that at all points in time. He gives a compliment and he sounds like he's complaining.
Yeah.
He complains and he sounds like he's complaining. It's just, that is
I'm
his
just
mode.
constantly complaining. Thanks. That sucks. Anyways,
How does
watch.
that suck?
I don't want to complain. I want
But
to...
yet you do.
I want
For
to drop
7
knowledge.
years. For 7 years.
And I
you
want to be
complain.
happy.
Yet it comes out as
Yet I
complaining.
complain.
Yet it comes out as complaining.
Anyways,
Oh, so now it's on record. You do complain.
I do. It's happened. I'm trying not... Anyway,
Multiple
so look, we
times.
chopped his head off,
A
right?
day.
So I shouldn't be complaining about a giant fire-breathing dragon.
Yet he is.
Because he's fucking cool.
And it's my favorite dragon.
Yeah, she likes the dragons that wings aren't attached to the arms. And I like the dragons that the wings are attached to the arms because it makes more...
Anatomical
like,
sense.
Anatomical sense. Which,
And-
why would you want to make anatomical... Like, I'm actually kind of drawing back from that explanation. Like, I feel like that was said in youth, and maybe I've thought about it more in my infinite wisdom of old age.
Or just since he's met me.
Maybe, sure.
Oh,
But I feel like,
this.
why try to make a dragon make anatomical sense? It's a mythological, symbolic creature that doesn't exist in reality. It doesn't need to have fucking wings that could actually function. Like, it's not a functional creature. And I guess Izzy understands that better than I do.
Earlier than you did as well. There are multiple dragons mythology across the world, and each one looks a little different. And that's what I find fascinating.
I got a snake, man. In China, they got the snake dragon.
Yes,
And he goes through the air, and he's a positive being.
Correct, but he doesn't have
He doesn't
wings.
like squat on all the virgins and gold and like hoard that shit like a video game collector.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the
He's
only
he's
existence.
like the cool guy, and I
He
don't
brings
know.
luck.
I don't know a lot
he
about
brings
China.
luck, and he brings luck, and he has a whole year named after him, like in China and Japan.
The year
they
of the
have-
dragon.
Yes, the year of the dragon.
And
the
my
year of the
wife is the
tiger.
year of the tiger, and I'm the year of the fucking tiger food.
Yeah, exactly. He's the boar.
I'm the pig, guys.
He's the pig.
I'm the pig.
And I would say that's actually accurate because I do
And
eat
she
you
gets a
regularly.
smile. Oh my god.
He gets very uncomfortable when I say
I'm
these
getting
things.
verklempt right now.
It means he's getting embarrassed.
Let's
and
talk
he's
about
turning a little-
Cadash, okay?
Why, when I'm having so much fun now?
Because we got to tell him about the last boss.
You can see the last boss. It's a dragon. You're
Well,
fighting
the tail. The tail does 40 points of damage. You want to avoid his tail. That right there, you don't want that to happen. That's bad. When he hits you with the
I never
tail.
said it was a two-headed dragon.
He grows a second head.
Now that's something.
Mwah. So, yeah, I mean, you want to attack him so that you're right underneath his head. You want to position yourself right under the head. If he's going to hit you with flame, it's okay. If you can avoid the tail, it's only the tip of the tail that does damage.
I can say so
You
much.
really want to avoid the tip of the tail.
Wise words to all women.
Avoid the tip of the tail?
Yes.
I don't get it. I don't even want to get it.
I'm sure you members out there of regular society do get it.
Yeah, me and the regular society.
You're the subculture, dear. You are the subculture of video games. I guess you would be speaking to most other subculture. Would you like me to spell it out for you?
No, I don't want. I want you. Look, I just beat the game. At this point in the playthrough, if you stuck through all of this, you're gonna hear, like, actually on the footage, like, Izzy talking shit to me. After I just put all this effort of 2 weeks into this game,
Well, you
my
know what?
wife's gonna come over and go, that.
It's only fair you talk shit first in the beginning half. So if anybody stuck through this entire video, I applaud you. Because all they heard was a husband saying, that, my wife, that. My
Do you
wife,
remember
my
what
wife."
you were saying when we played this?
Yes, you were going, oh my god, I can't believe I did it. And then you were like, no thanks to you. And I go, what do you mean no thanks to me? And you were like, you distracted me. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I sat in here very quietly as you asked. And you're like, no, you were walking around like you were some alien.
And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm sitting here minding my own business,
I
listening
think
to my
I
music.
actually gave you some credit. I was like, you
And
were
you
walking
were
around
like,
best you could.
you're like, you were doing the best you could. I go, oh, thanks for that backhanded compliment, dear. The best someone like you could do. Like I'm no better than some kind of Philistine or grandma. Like, I know it's above your mental capacity, but you did it. You were really good.
Well, you're not a
Thanks.
gamer. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
No, but I was still quiet. That's not called into question here. What's called into question was how quiet I was, and I was extremely
You're not
quiet.
quiet. I agree.
Oh, that was not what I said. You see how he twists my words? Do you see how he does this?
Like you could do this.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. It wasn't like that.
Yeah, right. That's what it sounded like. You know what? There's only so much someone like you could do.